Hi, my name is Chrissy Mazzola from North American, and I'm with John Calabrese from Calabrese Financial Group, MetLife. How are you today, John?
Very good, Chrissy.
How did you get into the financial business?
It's funny that you asked, Chrissy. 21 years ago, I was self-employed, and I became a MetLife client of a friend. And from there, that friend recruited me into the business.
For a person myself and an average person that does their own retirement or their own financial planning, why do they need a financial advisor?
Chrissy, I think today you realize that it's a very complex world out there. And there's so many different products out there in retirement planning that they're changing every day, especially the way people living much longer, longevity is here. And also, very key point is emotions. And when you think with emotions, most of the time you're making a wrong business decision. Sometimes people get nervous, and a lot of times...
Very scared?
Very
Very
scared.
scared.
But a lot of times financial advisor needs to hold the client's hand and explain to the client that, listen, Chrissy, you have 15 years for retirement. Let's get back to your financial goal and what your financial need is today. And don't worry about the short term of the market.
And why would somebody go to your company versus another financial advisor? Because there are a lot of financial advisors out there.
There's a lot of very good financial advisors out there. And I recommend that everybody should work with a financial advisor. A lot of financial advisors work solo, which means they're a one-man show. Right. John Calabrese Financial is a firm that comes in with a team approach. We also focus on the full holistic approach of the client. We're understanding the need of the client, the financial goal of the client. When you come see John Calabrese Financial, or you come into our conference room, you're not only working with one financial advisor at that meeting, you're working with 2 or 3 different financial advisors. I'm a true believer that 2 or 3 brains are better than one, and the solo advisor, they need to group up with a team to benefit that client to get more value.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Field of Dreams?
Yes, well, I'm a big believer in giving back to the community. The Joseph Anthony Verdino Field of Dreams was established maybe 5 years ago, but unfortunately, a boy passed away at 10 years old. And this boy loved baseball, and the parents wanted to leave some type of legacy behind for this child, but they wanted to make a difference. And we are right now in the process of developing a stadium at South Shore Little League. The goal will be going to the stadium that every child feels like a big leaguer, hopefully put Staten Island on the map regarding tournaments. That stadium is really a legacy for Joe Verdino Jr., who loved baseball, but also at the same time to provide every child that big league feeling. We feel sports in the community and helping the community makes a difference in a child's life, especially in today's times.
Oh, it does. Is there a website that people can go to and look at it? josephsfieldofdreams.org. If you want to make a pledge, you can make a pledge. But learn about Joseph Verdino Field of Dreams. And it's a great feeling. I'm very proud to be part of the Field of Dreams Foundation and be part of the board. So great to meet you. And I'm here with Aileen Smith from Vizalytics Technology. And I have a couple questions for you today. How did you become interested as a woman in technology?
I've always loved detail, and I've always loved information. And what's really exciting and appealing about working with data and doing analysis is if you love detail, there's no better opportunity than to sit there and to work with it. The interesting thing, obviously, is as a woman, you tend to be in the company of a lot of really great folks, but you're probably the only one who's wearing a skirt. I'm more on the content end of it, but I love working with technologists who are involved in the coding and the developing of different aspects, and to see how can we come together to make things work.
Have you had obstacles when you were dealing with men?
Absolutely, but I think one of the best ways to sort of approach that is kind of understand, well, let me sit in your shoes. Maybe your perspective is different from mine.
You have a location that's Co-op in Alley in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
And explain to us what that is and how has it benefited you and the program.
New York City has wonderful opportunities for a lot of small startups, and there's an outpouring of co-working spaces that have opened up. Here's where you can have a shared space. You have access to resources and facilities, but the other thing is you have access to great people. So currently, we're based out of Aileen, New York City, and they've got about 300 members, 90 different companies. But you have the opportunity to say, do you know someone who, hey, I'm working on an idea, can I sound off with you? And for a company where you're just starting out, and maybe you're just a team of 2 or 3 people, that opportunity to network and to be together is excellent. But they also have other things like, hey, listen, if you need legal counseling, here's who you can talk to. They can put all those things together for you so it doesn't feel as overwhelming and as alone.
Can you explain to me, because a lot of people, technology is so vast,
Yes.
but it's all different types of technologies.
Technology means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So that's kind of in some ways like saying, well, I'm a consultant.
Right.
Yeah, huge gamut. So for what we do, our mission actually with Vizalytics is enabling change with data. We see a huge opportunity to help both small businesses as well as government agencies leveraging New York City open data as well as other data sets that have been made publicly available to help your business be more efficient, to help it be more effective, but to also help understand what's going on outside.
I know you're going to Japan today.
Yes.
And I'd like to hear a little bit about what's the differences in, what are the opportunities there versus here with
Right.
technology.
Right. Well, it's interesting. I lived in Tokyo for 12 years. I have kept a lot of strong relationships there. So first off, being able to have lived in a different country, in a different culture, in a different language is hugely valuable as a business owner because I think it gives me the ability to be more considerate. For challenges that they find with open data in Japan, privacy is a huge concern. So right now, New York City has a lot of open data laws. We're pushing out a lot of information. But in Japan, there's a bit of reticence for saying, well, what can we release? How can we release it? To whom do we release it? Because we want to make sure that at all times those privacy laws are respected. I always say, don't be afraid of data. Don't say, oh, I don't need it, or it's not for me, it's too complex. Sit down with someone and say, well, here are the kinds of issues I'm having in my business right now. What might be able to help me? Because one of the challenges that we found isn't the data isn't there, but the people who need it didn't know it was there or aren't sure how to access it.
Aileen, it's such a pleasure to talk with you today. I hope that the technology information that you've given people today can help them better their business. And thank you so much, and good luck on your flight.
Great, thank you for having us, and we look forward to working with everyone.